Ministry of Health and Wellness Jamaica Move series is here. Join us Wednesdays at 5 a.m. and Saturdays at 8 a.m. right here on CVM TV. Let's get moving.
Make a move now.
Jamaica, make we do the right thing. Make we live good today for a better tomorrow. Talk it out. Don't fight it out. The time by the Ministry of National Security is
6:30.
Hurricane Helene caused devastation in the U.S. and it passed through the state of Florida. Now, Milton is threatening the life and livelihood of Floridians, with many fleeing the Sunshine State in fear of devastation. We discuss on Lead Story. Welcome to Lead Story. I'm Nika Lewis. The National Hurricane Center in the United States is predicting that Milton will bring the worst storm surge to the U.S. in over a century. Yes, a century. Jamaica's population in Florida is estimated to be at around 311,000 or so, and many Jamaicans are undoubtedly worried about family and loved ones in the state. So joining us this evening, Oliver Mayer, Consul General in Florida, Jeffrey Tavares, TV host of Make We Talk, Marlon Bolton from Tamarack County, he's the commissioner. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you so much for having us. Good to be here.
All right, thank you. So I want to start with the Tamarack Commissioner, Mr. Bolton. You're not on as yet. All right, we'll wait for you then. So in the interim, I will be asking the gentlemen who are on air. Are you hearing me clearly?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Perfect. So, Oliver, you first. How devastating was Helene in the state?
All right. First of all, let me just, I'm Oliver Mayer. I'm the Consul General of Jamaica, based in Miami with responsibility for the southern United States. So we cover 13 states from the consulate. And, you know, Hurricane Helen, as you would have known, was devastating, especially in North Carolina, where in excess of 200 persons lost their lives, and over 685 persons are still missing. Our information suggests that no Jamaicans so far have been a part of that list, but we continue to monitor closely the information that we receive from various sources. But currently for Hurricane Milton, we are in dialogue with several members of the community. You know, we keep in contact with several groupings right across Florida and the southern USA. And the general mood is even more preparations taking place for this one. They would have seen what took place in Hurricane Helen. And now, I just came off the phone earlier with folks in Tampa, many of whom are leaving the city and heading down to either to higher ground or to more secure regions. So we're very encouraged by that. And we at the consulate, we continue to implore everybody to follow the instructions from the authorities, take all safety precautions, follow all official advisories, and those in flood-prone areas, if you have been advised to evacuate, please do so. There's a lot of resources here, especially from the city and with the various commissioners.
Yes.
And so there's a lot of support available for persons as long as they follow the heed and the advice of the relevant authorities.
Well, let me see what your fellow countryman has to say about what's been happening over in Florida. From where you are, what is the situation on the ground in terms of preparation and trying to save lives and livelihood where you are?
Well, based on what I see so far, because I'm in Kissimmee, a lot of people have been buttoning up and they're going out to get their goods, they're going out to get their food stuff and water and so forth. Right now, when it comes down to food stuff,
yes,
Walmart doesn't have anything too much in there because a lot of things have been going haywire in the sense of people just taking up stuff, buying stuff and so forth. And they're getting their sandbags ready. They're buttoning down, they're preparing themselves. And hopefully that when this thing comes, everyone is prepared for it. A lot of, in my area where I am, the shelters are open for pets, for other human beings and so forth. But, you know, it is something that you have to brace for. Being a Jamaican, it has been, you go through Hurricane Gilbert, and believe you me, you know what it's like to hunker down when it comes down to a hurricane. So this is going to be a very dangerous one. So I pray and hope that everybody's hunkering down and get themselves prepared to make sure that everything goes well and fine.
Understood. What we are seeing from other international media, for example, the BBC, is that one, they're expecting extremely high storm surges. Two, they're saying that the highways were jammed from as early as yesterday and perhaps even before that. Are you experiencing any sort of panic from where you sit?
No, I am not. Based on what I see so far in my area, everything is running smoothly. I know coming out of Tampa, that is where the gridlock is. People are leaving out of Tampa, coming back into, you know, maybe leaving Tampa, coming out of Tampa to go elsewhere. That's where the gridlock is. Where I am in Kissimmee, Osceola County, I don't really see so much of a traffic jam or, you know, a panic. People are just going the normal business, taking heed of what is going on and what the city is saying to them.
All right. Well,
I don't know if Council General want to say anything pertaining to this.
Absolutely, but right after we take this quick break. So we'll be right back with the Consul General.
Hi everyone, my name is Kurt Dunn.
Greetings from Kali's Kelly Yoga.
Hey, it's Travin Morrison, and I am your National Physical Activity Specialist. And it's time to make a move.
Jamaica, let's get moving again. Season 2 of the Ministry of Health and Wellness Jamaica Move series is here. Join us Wednesdays at 5 a.m. and Saturdays at 8 a.m. right here on CVM TV. Let's get moving.
Make a move now.
Fan Central Pitside, brought to you by Edgechem, AIM Financial Corporation, Texaco, and Connex.
Welcome back to Lead Story on CVM TV. We have the discussion about hurricanes and their impact, especially in the state of Florida, where we see Helene ravaging sections of that state just 2 weeks ago. And now we have a threat from Milton that is expected to bring catastrophic conditions, as the authorities put it. I have joining me on Zoom Oliver Mayer, Consul General in Florida, and Jeffrey Tavares, TV host of Make We Talk. I'm guided, Mr. Mayor. Before we went to the break, you were challenged to respond to a particular aspect of the development regarding preparations on the ground. And if I'm missing anything else, Mr. Tavares will fill us in.
Yeah, you know, it's varied. You will always have those persons who won't take it seriously. They're last minute. They wait until the weather system starts. But based on just calling around the various groups, you know, because we try to work the phone speak to the various groups in different cities. I mean, we're talking about not just Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Orlando, Kissimmee, Tallahassee, Panama City. And so you get at Fort Myers, you get a different reaction from different persons, how the community is faring. And I am picking up a better preparation for this time around. They're taking this one more seriously, is what I'm feeling on the ground. And those in Tampa would have seen the news reports that it appears to be almost a direct hit. I mean, it changes almost on an hourly basis, but we have seen a lot of people leave from Tampa. And when I spoke to some of the community leaders there,
yes,
they told me that many of the students, for example, you know, a couple of days out there, they were on the Great Hall bus heading down to South Florida or to their relatives. Many persons have gone onto higher ground or gone to other parts of Florida where they anticipate to be less impacts from the weather system.
Well,
so listen, regardless of what, we are encouraging everybody, regardless of where you are, because almost every area now in Florida at least has a tropical storm watch. So everybody needs to be on alert. Everybody needs to be taking precaution. Everybody needs to be listening to the official advisories. Put all the measures in place. We know from our days in Hurricane Gilbert come right up to all the hurricanes that we have had over the years. Fill up your tank with gas. Have at least 3 or 4 days of food supplies with water. You want to ensure that your documents are properly secured. Anything in your lawn, on your lawns are properly secured. Your vehicles are properly secured. If you have some, you want to have a little cash on you from it becoming that the ATM machines won't be working. Some of the basics that we are aware of, and we have been posting some of this information on our social media pages.
Yes.
The Consulate General of Jamaica, Miami, both for Facebook and Instagram, and my page, Mayor Oliver, so that we try and keep the community updated as much as possible so that everybody can be doing what is necessary at this time. Safety is number one.
I know you keep speaking of everybody, including visitors, I take it, some of whom would be Jamaicans who are perhaps visiting the state, realizing that they're stuck. How do they get in touch with the Consul General, and how do they get help if they're unaware as to where to go, all of that?
Well, you know, gone are the days where people just need to reach out to the consulate for support. The network that is here in the States, cities are well organized, the mayors are active on the ground. People can go and collect the sandbags that you heard about from Jeff earlier. Immediately after disaster, the communities are out, the relief agencies are out to offer support. So we remain a phone call away for anybody who, despite not utilizing the resources available here on the ground, need some support, some guidance. You can reach out to us. If somebody's in dire straits after the hurricane, feel free to touch base with us. We are encouraging everybody to look out as well for your neighbors, especially the elderly in the community, who may not have the ability to, button down the house or to get groceries. Look out for them. You know them in the community. Offer a helping hand so that we can be as prepared as possible to meet Hurricane Milton.
In terms of the items on the lawn and all of those things, we've seen where tons of piles of garbage and mounds of debris and rubble are still left on some lawns and in some spaces, in the open spaces. Effort was being made earlier based on what we saw in the media there to remove those. So I'm going to ask Mr. Tavares to come in on this. How important is it that these rubbish and piles be taken care of before the storm hits, as quickly as you can in a minute?
What I know so far, that Governor Randy Santos has been speaking about that quite regular, where people in the various counties are taking up their garbage. Trucks are going on, taking up garbage, taking up to the garbage dump and so forth. You have people in their F-150 pickup trucks who are doing it. or taking it to the areas. If they go to the dump and the dump is closed, them along with the highway patrol, they take off the lock and they bring in the garbage. So there's not too much garbage around too much anymore. A lot of garbage has been taken up.
All right. Well, with that, we take a quick break and we'll be right back with more on what's happening with Milton.
The time by Grace. Taste that moves you is
6:45.
That's me on the corner. People don't bother feel like you can predict who is going to be in the shop with me. A ship carry you back at controversial. How old were you?
8 years old.
Now we're contemplating. These are the digits. What kind of episode this one? Another junction in life.
I have two left foot then, sir.
Yeah, know. Yeah, man. See the buckle of the Nigeria now. This is my show and you will not drop word from it.
They even know them things.
TJ, I can't say that no. You're going to mash up some house.
You know, say barber shop is really there ready to make your cut.
So, what you cut before? The cut, okay.
Now I'm where I want to be.
The Cut is brought to you by Flow.
Welcome back. You're watching Lead Story on CVM TV, and we are talking about Hurricane Milton. It is making its way as we speak to sections of Florida, and specifically Tampa seems to be headed in that, right in the immediate direction of where the storm is going. We have joining us Oliver Mayer, Consul General in Florida, Jeffrey Tavares, TV host of Make We Talk, and these are Jamaicans. So this question goes to you, Mr. Tavares. Much has been made of the politics in Florida, with the governor declining the class of the vice president and the president. How is that affecting the preparation for the hurricane?
Well, based on what I hear so far, I mean, the preparation for the hurricane is going quite well. I mean, Governor DeSantis has been, championed the cause. I am not aware. I hear something in the media about him not taking the call from the vice president. I won't comment too much on that. That is American politics. I'm not going to comment on that. What I would say so far is that he has been working very hard to make sure the state of Florida is well prepared for this hurricane. He has said that there is a lot of relief efforts off-site pertaining to, when the hurricane is passed, you can have everything come on in, the relief efforts, how many gallons of water, how many food stuff is on, that if people need food, there is food for them. What I know so far also is that the governor has also said that there's how much thousands of gallons of both diesel and gas that is available. So based on the whole thing with him and the vice president, I won't comment on that part.
You're staying out of that. Well,
yes, that's American politics. I get involved in American politics.
Well, I know that American politics affects quite a bit of the diaspora, so I don't know if the Consul General has anything to say about how this could potentially affect our people over in Florida at this time.
Well, me worse. I don't get involved in U.S. politics at all. Don't touch it at all. But what I can say is that I have been, pleased with how organized the various cities have been, because this is not the first hurricane I'm dealing with. Several over the years, and I have to interact with all the commissioners, the mayors, relief agencies, and so we have these persons on phone. We can talk to them. The State Department, and we have a lot of conversations going into a hurricane and after, and we try to see how we can work together as a team to support our constituents, if I may say so, after disaster. And and I've found that people try their best to ensure that everybody's taken care of before and after. And so kudos to the various cities that are operating. And I can say right now, from where I sit, it's all hands on deck. Everybody wants to ensure that things are safe, people recover, and those who are in need get the resources they need right away. You know, for example, even though it's not our direct responsibility, I mean, we are in dialogue as well with some of the agencies who assist after the hurricane, Global Empowerment Mission, for example. And, you know, even after Hurricane Helen, we are in direct conversation with them when they went up to North Carolina, when they were in Asheville and Charlotte, and, you know, just ensure that if things were going okay, and we're in dialogue with the Jamaicans to ensure that, you know, if they needed some kind of support, we were a phone call away to facilitate the connection with some of the resources already on the ground there in the respective cities.
So you touched critical areas, resources and rebounding. What's the rebounding process been like coming out of one hurricane just 10 days ago and now heading into another monster storm of sorts? How is this recovery impacting the economy of Florida?
It's going to be tough, you know, because the recovery time was going to, there was going to be some amount of recovery time for Hurricane Helen, and here comes Hurricane Milton. So you just have to deal with it as it comes, deal with each one as best as you can. There's no time to wait. We can't sit down and complain that there's another hurricane coming. This is just effect of climate change, and we're in a new dispensation. So we have to just be prepared of it. I mean, in a way, we're supposed to be at the tail end of the hurricane season, and now we have a slew of hurricanes that are coming. So we just have to deal with them as they come, deal with it as best as we can, and work together as a team on the ground, not just with the authorities, but with everybody living in the various cities. We work together, because once people stay off of the road, do what they're supposed to do, there's less work for the first responders. And many times the first responders have to risk their lives going out to try and save somebody who went out on the road in the middle of a hurricane when they should have stayed home.
Absolutely.
So once we all continue to work together, that's the most important thing. Safety, number one. And that's the important message. I know people from all over the world watch CVM. So if you're listening to us, please continue to observe all these advisories from the authorities and take all the safety precautions at this time.
All right. Well, Mr. Tavares, we know that you're no stranger to storms, and so we wanted to find out what's the worst you've seen since you've been in the U.S., especially in the Florida area. What's the worst you've seen? What was the experience like?
Well, the worst I have seen is was it hurricane? Here about the hurricane that I've been through up here. I forgot the name of it, but it was something to remember, in the sense of, is that like Hurricane Gilbert? Because Hurricane Gilbert was something that is the back of Jamaican minds for many years. Being in Florida, you know, I'm not going to bring down my country by saying this, but a lot of resources are in place for you that, you know, you can make sure after the hurricane you have that resources to rely back on, just in case you don't have anything at home, or just in case your roof gone or something. But for this one that is coming, we have to be very, very, very careful. We have to be very, very all hands on deck, in the sense of make sure that you're hunkered down, make sure everything is in place, because this is going to be a dangerous one coming. And as a matter of fact, I am in the part of it because it's coming through Orlando straight into Kissimmee. And that is not good. But what we have to do, we just have to just hunker down, make sure you have all these things in prepare. If it happens that you have to evacuate, then you take all your stuff and go. But for now, looking outside, as I said to my wife earlier on today when I called her, I said to her that this reminded me of when Hurricane Gilbert was coming to Jamaica. There was no breeze blowing or nothing. You know, no breeze blowing. It reminds me. Yes, it's very calm and still. And I'm saying to myself, this is not looking good. And she said to me, you are in Kissimmee. Everything is coming to you. I'm in Fort Lauderdale, you know?
Yes.
So if this is coming, it is coming. And we have to be very careful and hunker down and make sure that we're safe. And look out for each other, as what Council General said.
Right. Mr. Mayor, we're coming back to you because we want you to close off this segment by telling Jamaicans over in Florida, if they seek help from the consulate, how to go about it, if there is a location that they need to get to or they need information from the consulate, how do they get that? We'll have the information, by the way, on the screen as well as you speak.
Yeah. So there's a number there that persons can reach out to if you should find yourself in dire straits, in need of support. Please give us a call. We will facilitate getting you in connection with city officials who can provide the needed resources. But not that we don't want you to call us, but just know that make yourself of fay with your respective commissioner, mayor, and ensure that you utilize the resources that are available right there in your region. They want to help. They want to assist. And they also, most importantly, as all of us want you to do, pay attention to all the official advisories and take all the safety precautions. I'll tell you this, the hurricane that I feared the most was when I was here in Miami for Hurricane Andrew. To me, it was worse than Hurricane Gilbert, but that's another story.
Indeed.
But the message I want to get for everybody, please just take all the advice, follow all the requirements, follow all the advisories. Like our pages on the Consulate General of Jamaica, Miami, Facebook, Instagram pages, my page, Mayor Oliver. All right, and we'll continue to update you information. We're going to be closed Wednesday and Thursday. This is a precautionary measure during the weather system. We'll be back out on Friday. But please, let us be safe as a community. Let us come out together safe as a Jamaican people, as a Caribbean region, and let's look out for our brothers and sisters at this time.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Oliver Mayer, Consul General in Florida, and Jeffrey Tavares, TV host, Mek We Talk. Safety is critical at this time, and if you are in Florida, as you've heard, you can contact the consulate there to get help and further information. So let's make it out alive. Don't be a hero if you don't need to be. That's it for Lead Story. I'm Nika Lewis. Good evening.
Hi everyone, my name is Kurt Dunn.
Greetings from Kelly's Kelly Yoga.
Hey, it's Robin Morrison and